let's talk about Bitcoin and that mysterious Bitcoin whale. Did we find who it is? We got a little XRP news. So we know SEC is still fighting Ripple. We have another lawyer that makes his argument that this case is going to end soon because the SEC really has they can't really say anything anymore, right? Based on the ruling from Judge Torres about XRP not being a security, also, the sales of XRP in the secondary market does not constitute as a security sale. I mean, based on those things, I mean, really, they just don't have any argument to continue this lawsuit against, Ripple. It just doesn't make any sense, right? But outside of this, a couple other things that's actually quite interesting. XRP Ledger may be getting side chains going soon. Okay, so they just did an audit on something, what they call XLS 38D, which is basically a cross-chain bridging mechanism, and it just got audited, which means, all these other chains that have side chains, right, and inter-chain communication, that's what this is leading towards. So XRP Ledger can soon get side chains, and all the side chains will be able to communicate among each other and with the main ledger chain. Interesting. Never heard that before. And then also, their CTO, David Schwartz, is tweeting all these weird cryptic tweets or zeets. That still sounds so weird to me. Zeets, I think. I think you call it zeets or something. Anyways, I'm going to just still refer to it as tweets. Doing crazy tweets like this. 277 trillion, is the smallest number that goes in 11. So what does that have to do with 11? There's something coming up, 11 or $11 confirmed. No one knows, but there's something that has to do with 11, or maybe nothing, and he's just trying to troll everyone. I don't know. But yeah, there's I think the bridging aspect, the sidechain aspect to XRP Ledger is quite interesting. And if the SEC drops its case, well, that's even better for XRP, right? All right. There's also something else, something that a lot of people talked about. I talked about it, and that is this $3 billion whale. Okay, this whale came out of nowhere, and according to the address, it holds $3 billion of the Bitcoin, which is the third largest address in history or on record right now, right? And we know that it initiated from Gemini, and people are wondering, okay, so who actually owns it? So now, according to Arkham, they believe that it's Robinhood. Robinhood holds $3 billion worth of Bitcoin, and this has been gathering for the last 3 months, right? And people think, well, case closed, right? It's Robinhood. But does it make any sense? Robinhood is not doing too well financially, okay? And they have plenty of time to be loading up and stocking up Bitcoin. So to me, it makes no sense to just say, well, Robinhood owns a $3 billion. No, it's more likely that they purchased it for someone, right? And we know Robinhood has some large investors backing them. So I decided to take a look, pulled up the top 10 owners of Robinhood. Number 1 is Vanguard. Vanguard also has interest in Bitcoin. In fact, back just last month, it was reported that they hold 560 million worth of Bitcoin mining stocks. So maybe Vanguard is also getting involved, but I couldn't help notice, but ARK Invest also is a big shareholder. Guess what? They're trying to come out their spot Bitcoin ETF, right? And then you go down the list, BlackRock. BlackRock is also a major investor. guess what? They're trying to come out with this spot Bitcoin ETF as well, right? So I think the story, there's more to the story. It hasn't ended. I think Robinhood may be holding it, but I don't think they are the ones actually behind it. I think it's one of these big boys that's buying, accumulating behind the scenes because they're getting ready for something, either a spot Bitcoin approval or they just want to buy and hold Bitcoin. Maybe someone like Vanguard. I don't think Vanguard is in the business of a spot Bitcoin ETF. They don't have an application in, but who knows? Maybe they just want to hold and own $3 billion worth of Bitcoin, right? So just want to throw it out there. I don't know exactly who it belongs to, but I don't think it's just Robinhood. I think they're holding it for someone big, right? But we know that there's a lot of institutions getting in, right? A lot of institutions get in. Even Dave Portnoy is jumping back in with Barstool Sports, which he just bought for $1. This is nearly $1 billion company, right? And Dave is buying in, but we know that it's not just Dave either, right? There are so much money out there that are waiting to come into the space. Here's one: Vessel Capital secures $55 million to invest in Web3 infrastructure. There is just so much money out there waiting to come in. This is still very, very early. There's so much more coming, right? And all this talk about spot Bitcoin ETF. What about futures ETF? Yeah. I mean, Ether futures ETF. Yeah, that's coming too, right? After Ether futures ETF, then we're going to have Ether spot ETFs too. So it's not just around Bitcoin anymore. All these big boys are also concentrating on Ethereum. There's just so much coming, guys. So much, and so much money will be flowing in. Trillions upon trillions upon trillions. It's going to be wild and exciting. All right, so stay strong, my friends. And then that's pretty much it. The only other thing is Base. Coinbase Base has been very popular, right? Volume is exploding, mostly due to friend.tech, right? But Base is based on Optimism's code base. So it was unveiled that they're going to do some kind of shared governance and revenue framework. Interesting, right? So I think it helps Optimism as well.